Welcome everyone to my top 40 albums of 2024 list, where I will be going over my favorite records that have come out this year. And before we get into the video, as a disclaimer, there will be a few EPs present in this list, so just a heads up. But without further ado, let's get right into number 40. Smitten by Pale Waves is a pop rock album that unveils catchy and dreamy melodies that go into depth about your casual love songs. And to be quite honest, this record doesn't have much going for it, considering this sort of style of pop love rock has been beaten to death. However, the vocals are soft throughout the record, making it a very consistent listen throughout, but may seem a bit fatiguing when played from front to back. Number 39. A Bit of a Mad One by Glaive is a very interesting listen. It blends concepts of folk pop and hyperpop in a way that captures the artist's overwhelming emotions. The production on this record definitely carries a lot of the weight by having those bright and flashy moments, but when the record slows down, that's where it pulls its grits and really hits those softer notes with decent writing and sympathetic vocals. Number 38. I stood in every house of God with a crucifix. The Weightless Hour by Juanita Stein is your traditional singer-songwriter with a guitar. What this album succeeds at is being a slow burner with varying styles of guitar melodies through each track. Nothing groundbreaking to be shown here, but I very much enjoyed this record when I needed to take a break from life. Number 37. Moves in the Field by Kelly Moran is a modern classical record that delicately and graciously plays the piano in the most magnificent ways possible. Listening to this record is dreamlike and goes to show how much elegance and emotion can be carried with just pure instrumental talent. This is the very definition of a soothing listening experience with high replayability. Number 36. Hyperdrama by Justice is an electronic house record that shows off many combinations of groovy beat patterns to get down and funky with. A fun listen to just turn your brain off and have in the background. If I were to compare it to their magnum opus of a debut, I'd say it does a decent job. Number 35. My Method Actor by Miss Yanya is an indie rock record, and what makes this record an enjoyable listen by me and many others is that it is simple. It doesn't rely on gimmicky production values to carry it forward, but does quite the opposite. This record highlights her vocals fantastically, making the lyrics of emotional dissonance the more impactful. Lastly, when the instruments are noticeable and more apparent, they strike slowly and subtly. Number 34. I know the show is big, but you're the only one, When you call me, I've got no energy to fight. It's not that I don't care, Bad Cameo by James Blake and Lil Yachty is an unexpected collab, nonetheless, to come forward and make a neo-psychedelic record. However, looking back at the discography of both artists, this could very much turn into something worth sharing, and boy, I tell you, James Blake's electronic and poetic style mixed with Lil Yachty's psychedelic synths blend seamlessly well. I found myself to be in a trance state of mind throughout the listen. Number 33. All Life Long by Callie Malone is a record full of well-crafted composition works that I have a hard time describing them. The minimalistic instruments, the low and high notes being drawn out, and the lack of vocals all come together to form a relieving yet unsettling listening experience. Overall, very medieval-esque. Number 32.
Excitement for this life declining slow the more I see it. In the time my pride was shiny things are clothes and the women made you hate me. I could change it, baby, make it make sense.
Shadowbox by Mavi is a hip-hop record that really dives deep into the chill side of the genre. With its relatable lyrics, along with its low-key production, Mavi very much well does a fantastic job with his vocal performances through each track. More so on the melancholy side, but damn, while I say this record had me intrigued with his life story. Number 31. Bird's Eye by Raven Lenae is a contemporary R&B record that leads into your conventional R&B love songs. What stands out for me in this record is her great singing backed up with even greater production. Her voice is very soft and puts the listener at ease, or at least in a calmer state of mind. And when the song isn't leaning into R&B, it also plays around in the bedroom pop subgenre. Number 30. Dennis by Sega Bodega is an experimental electronic record that is full of twists and turns around every track. From catchy IDM patterns to glitchy vocal synths, this album does a great job of having a variety of different sounds all packed into 38 minutes. It's an absolute wonderful listen that I can easily see every song being utilized in a variety of fun and unique club mixes for sure. Number 29.
Yeah, we put the A and R in rank. Say it's time for a hang. Nigga, I spin that shit on Drake. When a bitch force it, all the shit feel like I'm levitating. I was trapping out of granny basement.
Almighty So 2 by Big Sosa is the black sheep on this list when it comes to hip-hop records. The reason I say this is because even though it has great production and flow from the first to last track, its entertainment value is irreplaceable. This record had me laughing so goddamn hard. I was starting to believe Chief Keef could ironically make it as a stand-up comedian. From throwing shots to everyone in the industry to hilarious pop culture references, this record will indeed be looked back on as a classic. Number 28. I Got Heaven by Mannequin Pussy is a punk rock record that is full of catchy lyrics accompanied with punchy yet simple production. This record is very reminiscent of the 2000s in terms of pure sound while having a very vibrant and bright feel to it. It does a pretty good job of expressing the band's emotions through its powerful vocals and instruments. Number 27.
Photograph of us in the spotlight on a hot night. I was gifted in it, and I held it like a penny I found.
Tiger's Blood by Waxahachie is an alt country record that has left quite the impression on me since I kept coming back to it more so than I should have. Her singing is rich and the lyrics are creative, and while many others have grown a little tired of this style of country, I'm quite a sucker for it, as to me it's very nostalgic and I could never get enough of it. Number 26.
Outside jigging, baby, with my hand on my steel. You digging the bitch and you losing your chips, you slacking on your Mac. Stood till the nigga make them cheese. I ain't gonna ride with a piece untucked till the Kim Jong-un when I pop this trunk.
King of the Mischievous South by Denzel Curry is by definition the purest hip-hop trap of 2024 without question. Me being from the South, the sinister sound of the wonderfully made production and its slow as smooth as fast flow all come together creating a masterclass of a track list full of excitement and talent. And don't get me started on how many features there are on this album. Number 25.
That you never need me. Make it all right, no sticking around. But how did that have to do? It was all I ever asked of you.
What a devastating turn of events by Miss Rachel is a pop rock record that seems like a generic teenage love pop anthem on the surface, but it's quite the contrary. Miss Rachel shares her love experience throughout the record in a very mature fashion. Feelings of realization and reflection show her true nature and gives us something we can all relate to, and possibly the opportunity to learn from her experience as well. A very earwormy summer sound I can very much see being played casually on the radio. Number 24. Evocation by Cohen Sound is an electronic record that blends in a variety of classical elements to create a future garage sound. Looking back at their previous work in 2023, this realm is nothing new to them, and as a matter of fact, they've proven their abilities once again by creating such beautiful and engaging tracks that have the listener begging for more. At the end of the day, I hope to see their music be utilized in more ways, such as game OSTs or short films. Number 23.
Do you remember coming to the hospital when I met me someday, and I bet you will. We could see the sadness as a gift.
Bright Future by Miss Linker is an indie folk record that is undoubtedly the saddest record of 2024. So if you're like me and enjoy making yourself cry, this record will most definitely do that. From time and time again, Miss Linker has appealed to the mass by being down to earth and intimate with her lyrics, accompanied with her unique voice. All those things come together to create so much life, all jam-packed into this record. Number 22. Be Always Cold by Joey Duran is a post-rock record that seems quite intimidating at first, since the entire record is around 5 hours long. For the people who are familiar with Godspeed You, Black Emperor, or Swans, it's very much like those styles where it is longer than your average song, but highly rewarding. The smooth electric and bass guitar produce many low-key moments throughout the record that are nice to relax and chill to. But when the moment is right, the artist brings an unexpected but welcoming amount of energy and punch. Number 21. The Sunset Violent by Mount Kimby is a post-punk record that has hints of psychedelic synths spread all over it. If you enjoy King Cruel, which is another phenomenal artist, then you will for sure enjoy this. It has a very laid back and chill tone to it and can easily get lost in the pure sound of it all. Very pleasing to the ear. Number 20.
If your posturepedic, possibly in the closet, it's an necropolis. Scary how I'm optimistically obstinate. Ain't no domino. It's like the Starship Enterprise. I'ma be the one that you.
Samurai by Mr. Fiesco is a hip-hop record, and basically, if you are a fan of rap or just the simple boom-bap style of hip-hop, then this record will definitely scratch that itch. Mr. Fiesco is recognized as one of the greatest geniuses when it comes to writing and producing in the modern day, and this further proves that point. Being the only writer with just a handful of producers, this album goes to show how articulate this man can be in just half an hour. Number 19. Wolf by Fat Dog is an EBM record that uses concepts of synth punk to really carry it forward. What I find interesting about this sound is that it's out there, it's loud, and in your face for a majority of the runtime. The synths, guitars, and drums are also powerful and prevalent that really strikes my groove strings. A very exhilarating listen, and I would love to hear this play live in a concert. Number 18.
These days I wanna feel it. No simulation, it's gotta be true. I'm looking you and me, everything that we could be. I could see a family, baby in the backseat. Right now it's a fantasy.
Quantum Baby by Tanashi is yet another one of her amazing works to be added to her R&B discography. When the single Nasty came out, the community and I immediately knew that this was going to be one of the most anticipated albums of 2024. Her sound is consistent, the lyrics are cute and sometimes freaky. I would say it does a decent job following up her 2023 record BB Angel, and I honestly can't wait to hear more from her. Number 17.
Ask me to beg. Just look into my jet electric eyes. I see a blue reflection of the world inside it.
Mountainhead by Everything Everything is just a pure, fun synth pop record. I had the biggest smile across my face after listening through each and every track. The lyrics are creative and melancholic. The vocals are extremely expressive and charismatic, and overall, something I could find myself enjoying on a nice summer day. Number 16.
That's my flight. I'm coming out to the party.
Now we have arrived to the highest rated album of 2024 across the vast majority of music reviews. Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay is a synth pop record that is full of dreamy and ethereal sounds that are all unique to this artist. Magdalena Bay has always embellished in this larger than life and psychedelic concept across all their work, and I truly believe no other artist can replicate what they have going on here. This is without a doubt a timeless classic. Number 15.
God that I can't see. Every tweet, it come with a cost. Every enemy pain him is soft. If you break up, delete it and cross. I'm either on or off the drugs, can't hold the buzz, I can out of tone. Cause either on or off the drugs, a voice plays.
I Laid Down My Life For You by JPEG Mafia is yet another sensational hip-hop record by someone who has consistently released outstanding performances from time and time again. I'm going to try to not sound like every album of the year user by glazing him to all hell, but I will not deny, this album has lots of range. It's dynamic, has amazing production, and some noteworthy samples. I'm just glad to see him working with the best of the best writers and producers in the industry to form this one. Number 14.
Can't help but do this. Don't let that shit lift it.
A Lonely Sinner by Sam LRC is a post-rock shoegaze record that has gained quite the popularity over the past year. Writer and producer Samantha Rodriguez is an indie singer-songwriter that has released a sinister yet beautiful set of tracks. These tracks all come together to form a cohesive narrative about diverging from traditional values. With the help of other music reviewers, this record implies wanting to change and can be left up to the listener on what that change may be. On top of that, it is a blissful experience listening to Samantha's voice while I try to unravel the deeper meaning of it all. Number 13.
Houses of friends and make no amends. I'd rather kill him instead. Out of the rumors to spread. You pick the one that's gonna get us some. Floating like a butterfly, you got me on the ropes. I'm trying to dance with feet of clay. If cash is all these women want.
Dark Times by Vince Staples is a hip-hop record full of emotion and maturity. For a brief 35 minutes, we are shown how much Vince Staples has grown, not only as an artist, but as a person as well. Through the various acts of conflict that surround his life, the name of the title, Dark Times, is very fitting because of the overall somber tone that it carries. Number 12.
And being this thick, it makes me sick. I wanna be a stick now, off with the tits. You slept on me. I held my tongue for about long enough.
Girl with No Face by Ali X is a synth pop record filled with a variety of disco and dance elements that fill the album full of vibrancy and drive. The overall electrifying synths are very reminiscent of 80s pop music, and I'm all for it. The lyrics are very much out there in terms of edginess, so if you like the very niche subgenre of modern 80s gothic synth pop, you'll have a good time with this one. Number 11.
Relatives. Okay, nigga, let's settle it. These niggas been fake loyal since y'all pandering to choose a side. Let me do it. Activities, then don't you get involved. Hey, what? How many shit I seen? Send them all. Take a risk or take a trip. You know I'm tripping.
GNX by Kendrick Lamar is a hip hop record designed around the classic West Coast hip hop style that everyone knows and loves. I'll keep my next words brief because I'm sure y'all have heard this 1,000 times. The production is top notch in quality, the lyrics are cutthroat, and overall, it honestly sounds like everyone who worked on this record had fun making it. Lastly, major props to Kendrick Lamar by inviting upcoming artists into his record and allowing them to show what sort of talent they bring to the table. Number 10. Everchance by Kless.R is a glitch pop record that feels like a fever dream when I first listened to it. The general sound of the album is self-conscious with itself and creates a lot of awkward tension with the listener. The reason why it's up so high on this list is because of the sugary, poetic lyrics, tied in with frying and timid vocals, all backed up by the glitchy pop madness in the back. All come together quite nicely as a concept. It is sweet and endearing, and I believe it captures the feeling of being an insecure teenage boy very well. Number 9. Host Human Next Gen by Bring Me the Horizon is an alternative metal record that thrives in being extremely emo as possible. The record is fun and wacky when it comes to the production choices that were made and are more noticeable later on. What makes it a top 10 placement for me is that it indulges in the fact that it is unpredictable and absurd. Combining the thrilling and visceral moments with the mental instability that one faces with drugs, it creates a strong emotional connection for people who resonate with this intense feeling. Number 8. Romance by Fontaines DC is a post-rock record that focuses on building the listener's emotions through each track by taking its time and letting the melancholic tones do the rest. The lyrics do a great job in supporting that somber tone with an even greater emphasis on the instrumentation side. Really sets the mood for what it is aiming for. Number 7.
All the old ways there, living in my head. You think these yuppies, your funeral was beautiful. I bet God heard you coming.
The Great American Bar Scene by Zach Bryan is a country record that has potential to be one of my favorite country records of all time. Since the past decade, the country genre has suffered through tons of recycled radio material that unfortunately left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Thankfully enough, Zach Bryan revived the genre in unspeakable ways. His ability to capture pure nostalgic moments and be able to translate them into songs filled with so much personality and soul is an example of what good songwriting looks like, or should I say sounds like. Number 6. Tidal Memory EXO by Igloo Ghost is an electronic UK drill and bass record full of thrill and excitement. The power this man has to be able to reproduce a surreal club environment in someone's bedroom is unbelievable. This entire record is mixed so well that I can easily see any of these songs being played in a nightclub with its full unedited version. Definitely play this if you enjoy having a good time. Number 5.
And when you run such a way, so pull yourself back up. Instead of fighting my side.
You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To by Knocked Loose is one of the highest rated metal records of 2024, and for very good reason. This record is a metalhead's wet dream with the most disgusting snares I've heard in a while, absolute spine-chilling lyrics about everyone's favorite G.O.D., and a few surprising guest features. I mean, it is so good even Jimmy Kimmel had them play live at his show. There was even a mosh pit during the performance. Certified headbanger for sure. Number 4. Smile by Porter Robinson is an electro-pop record that is composed of so much color and life that it almost feels unreal that this even exists. Mr. Robinson takes you on one hell of an emotional roller coaster that makes you appreciate life so much more than ever before. With these sweet and brief anecdotes sprinkled across the record, I was tearing up while listening to what feels like a dream. It's quite, honestly, perfect. Number 3. Negative Spaces by Poppy is an alternative metal record that is full of bold and raw vocal performances, all feeling this twisted experience. One key highlight that struck me is her range. She can go from an innocent angel of a voice to devilish vocals filled with despair in rapid succession. This record is dynamic, it's aggressive, and overall, a high-octane dark horse. Number 2. Brat by Charlie XCX is an electro-pop record that needs no further introduction. This record takes a deep dive into Charlie and whether or not she can continue being the party girl everyone recognizes her for. And yes, this record is filled with non-stop club hits. The lyrics behind those hits can be sentimental at times. She reflects on troubling conflicts she has had moving through the industry, the loss of a good friend she never really got to appreciate, and wondering how long her DJ lifestyle will last. It is her most honest work yet, and it takes a lot of courage to be this vulnerable that some people forget to recognize sometimes. And finally, we reached our main event. Number 1. The Death and Birth of an Angel by Falling with Scissors is a metal record that has topped everything that I have heard come out 2024. A brief synopsis is our singer is talking with an unholy angel about leaving this world. The unholy angel is trying to convince him that the afterlife is only filled with blissful dreams. We still get an unclear depiction of this unholy angel, if this is a real person or just a hallucination. Haunting nonetheless. After losing his mental stability for the past few minutes, we finally uncover why he wants to commit in dying so bad. He wants to die because the person he loved the most in life unfortunately took their own life. And just as he's about to do so, his fallen angel is now telling him to not make the same mistake they made. I mean, when it comes to storytelling and being able to push so much emotion and character in the span of 17 minutes is unremarkable. Not to mention the amount of drive and anger that is felt through the instruments, vocals are so visceral and real. And that's all, folks. If you have any other records that deserve on being in the list, or I forgot to mention that should have been mentioned, leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear y'all's opinions. And thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate y'all being here for me. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.